How to overcome trading addiction. Up to 5% of day traders are prone to develop a trading addiction, which is a subset of gambling addiction. If you have any doubt that you are addicted to day trading, then please don't take it loosely. It is a tough addiction that could destroy your life. If you need to do a self-assessment to check whether you have a trading addiction or not, please go to my channel and check this video. Now let's start with how to overcome day trading addiction. It took me years to recover from this addiction. I will not lie to you and say it was simple and you can do it easily. But it is not. My recovery road was very long and very hard, full of pain and suffering. I would not be exaggerating if I said I have relapsed more than 100 times. But I kept trying until I did it. And if someone like me did it, I am sure you can. The first step in recovery is to admit that you have an addiction. You can't really start your recovery process if you are not convinced that you have an addiction. This step could be very easy or very difficult for you. In my case, it took me more than 2 years to admit that I have a trading addiction. Addiction, broadly defined, is the continued and compulsive consumption of a substance or behavior despite its harm to self and/or others. So if you're still in the early stages and you didn't suffer from a very bad consequences because of your addiction, you will most likely resist the idea of being an addict. On the other hand, if your day trading caused you to lose all your money and pile up a lot of debts, if it caused you to lose your job, relationships, then it will be much easier to admit that you have an addiction. Why it is hard. Why it is hard for someone who has an obvious signs of day trading addiction to admit that he has an addiction. Since day trading addiction is a subset of gambling, let me compare it with the other types of gambling, and I will give myself as an example. And why it took me more than 2 years to start thinking that I may have an addiction. It is simply about the perceptions that we have about online trading. I will give myself as an example. I have never gambled in a casino. I have never placed a bet on any sports events. Really, I have never tried any of the other traditional forms of gambling. The only exception is I bought a lottery ticket once or twice just for fun, that's it. The reason for that is I grow up knowing that the odds are against me, and it is a losing game, and I will never beat the casino. All I learned from my parents, from the people around us: don't gamble because you will lose your money and you will end up as gambling addict. Even from watching the movies and TV series, the gamblers most of the time presented, thankfully, in a very negative way. That will not encourage you to be like them. Simply, I grow up prepared against gambling and informed about its risks, so I have avoided it completely, and I still have no interest at all to try it. In general, people have the right perceptions about the traditional forms of gambling and about gamblers. They know what to expect if they gamble, they know that most likely they will lose, and they know that gambling is addictive, it can destroy one's life. Gambling is not a new invention. Humans started gambling thousands of years ago. So there is common knowledge about its risks. So if I started gambling online now, I will not be surprised if I developed a gambling addiction after a few weeks or a few months. I will be aware that I have a gambling addiction. Whether I will start my recovery immediately or I will wait until I hit rock bottom, I don't know, but at least I will be aware of the issue that I have. Online day trading, on the other hand, is a new phenomenon. It has been around for 20 to 25 years only. Yes, investing in trading stocks is not a new thing. You can trace it back to the 17th century. The first IPO, initial public offering, in the world was for the Dutch East India Company, held on August 1602. But this dangerous mix that online brokers provide, easy access, instant trade execution, margin trading, and the huge variety of trading instruments, is very new. You can trace it back to the 1990s, but it didn't take its current form and popularity until the early 2000s. So unlike the traditional forms of gambling, I didn't grow up prepared against the addictive nature of online trading and its risks. Unlike gamblers, in general, people have a good perception of traders. They look at them as smart, successful people. Also, the media shows traders and trading in a very positive way that inspire a lot of us to try it. I am not saying this picture is wrong. What I am trying to say is the addictive nature of trading is normally neglected by the media. Trading addiction is more dangerous than the other classical forms of gambling because it has this legitimate cover: trading. If you ask 100 random people on the street the following question: I have an extra $30,000 in my saving accounts and I need your advice on how I can invest this money, none of them will tell you to take that money and start gambling. No one will suggest that to you. But I am sure you will hear some of the following answers. Invest in the cryptocurrencies, buy Bitcoin or Ethereum when the price is low and sell it later once the price is high. Invest in the stock market. Buy some shares at a low price and sell them once the price is high. Try options trading. Try online trading. The double hidden addiction. Gambling is known to be a hidden addiction because the gambler can hide his addiction from his family and friends for a long time. Day trading addiction is a double hidden addiction. It is not only hidden from the family and friends, it is hidden for the trader himself. What are the early signs of day trading addiction? From my experience, below are what I remember to be the first signs that I had, and unfortunately, back then I didn't interpret them as early signs of addiction. 1. Overtrading is the act of placing too many trading orders in a short period of time. 2. Keeping your trading activity hidden, or hiding the losses that you had from trading. 3. Chasing losses. 4. Excessive monitoring for your trades. If you open a trade, you will be always monitoring it minute by minute. 5. If you can't stick to your money management strategy or your stop losses, and you keep changing them. The above could happen to any day trader once or twice per month, but if you are doing this daily, then you are either an addict or you are going to develop a day trading addiction. Finally, the first step in recovery is to admit that you have an addiction. Once you admit you have an addiction, then you can start working on your recovery.